GM, we are live, and wouldn't you know it, we're already in the thick of it. I hopped in this one right as we were going live, and I snap filled it. So this is a DBQ. We're already in a DBQ, and we've already taken Achane. So we jumped right on in. So again, apologies. I normally like to give people a little bit of heads up so that they can get in these, but this one, again, I was number 12, and that's why we had a short countdown, because I did not want to join a draft in progress. Chris, GM Candles, hey, thanks so much, Chris, for coming in, hanging out. GM to you. Thanks for stopping by. Skeletor, GM, appreciate you. Greg, what up, Candlelights? I like that. I like that we're an ites, like we're like a biblical civilization. You don't hear too many ites anymore, but I'm into that. Donnie Murphy, GM brother. Hey, GM to you, Donnie. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out today. Likewise, Joel, GM to you. Despite sneaking into a room, we still have a pretty good amalgamation of people. We got Easy here. Easy, very, very sharp player at the 1. He takes Jonathan Taylor. Tubinis won a seat last week. He is at the 6 hole. He took JSN at 6. Definitely a bunch of names I recognize here as well. If you're in here though, please let me know. Hey, Tiger Uppercut, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate you. Likewise, Jake Vinegar. Thanks so much for coming in. Yeah, it looks like we're already getting some interesting injury news. Yesterday, of course, the big stuff was Trey Benson. He went from the guy that was going to save your league to getting a meniscus surgery, out 4-ish weeks, sounds like. So that's not great. That's not great. The backfield seems like it's going to be some kind of nightmare rotation of DeMercado, Michael Carter, and Bam Knight. So we'll see what the answer is there. Feels like the touts are a little in disagreement whether the player to own is DeMercado or Carter. I don't know. I think there's good people on both sides. I think we're going to have to kind of see it to believe it. I've seen good arguments on both. They've used DeMercado on 3-down rolls. We've also seen Michael Carter hold a 3-down workload previously. So I frankly don't know. What I imagine is that the real beneficiary is going to be like McBride, and to a lesser extent MHJ. I think that McBride might turn into kind of an extension of the run game. I could see that being how it plays out, especially in full PPR. I like the chance for him to definitely get a few more targets. Maybe not the most valuable stuff if they're just short area targets, but I could see Trey McBride benefiting from that quite a bit. But I'm sure one of those 2 backs is going to be at least somewhat fantasy relevant. I'm just I don't know if I'm the source to decide, because I frankly just don't have a strong enough opinion on which one at this point. Donnie asking, any updates on Bucky? Is it Sean Tucker week? That's another interesting one. I want it to be Sean Tucker week badly. I'm just afraid that it's like Rachaad White week. That's that's what I'm afraid of, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the coach speak on Tucker has been good for a long time. I just know they know they can depend on Rachaad White. So all right, so we got Achane. My preference would have been Tet McMillan. Makes me feel somewhat good that Tubinis is taking Tet there, because I'm pretty into Tet this week. I'm also pretty into the elite tight end. Pretty into the elite tight ends. As far as a second running back, it's already bad. I don't really want to take Montgomery at pick 22. Chuba Hubbard picked up a Q tag. That's another one to keep an eye on. It sounds like he's actually doing worse this week than last week, so that's not really great. Elite quarterback would be fine here. Justin Fields, of course, is always has slate breaking upside. Not sure how I want to play this week. So there goes Monty. It could double up on the Dolphins there and just try to play it through, play a little bit of a Fins overstack. I haven't done that. Could be bad, but you know what? Let's do it. I haven't done anything like this. Let's just say that the Dolphins go kind of nuts against Carolina. I would probably prefer this in a world where I'd been able to get Tet and Waddle, which I think might be doable. But I like the idea of kind of game stacking some of these. I have a little bit of concerns about QJ with the offensive line stuff in LA, that he might not see quite what we've been seeing from him the past few weeks. So Brock Bowers goes. I'll take you know what, we'll take Woody Marks. I know I said I like the elite tight ends, but I think he's kind of the end of a tier that I'm into. You know, after this, it starts getting thin. Rashad White is not going to come back to me. Chase Brown, I think I'm a little higher on Chase Brown than some people are, but there's no guarantee even he gets back to me at pick 46 with how running back hungry these rooms can get. So it's kind of my thought process on there. But go Dolphins. That is the short answer to it. Hey, Steven GMTU, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Chris likes that McBride bags. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I'm right about that. Tiger Uppercut. The one to own is the team defense that plays Arizona. I think that's the Titans this week, which is not good. Montgomery says, the gal says Montgomery's a smash. He's playing in front of his sister for the first time. He's paralyzed from the neck down. I did see that. Take, which is, first of all, that's terrible. I didn't know that had happened to his sister, but certainly there is some narrative, strong narrative there to get Montgomery a touchdown or two in that game. So we'll see. Family will be in attendance. Yeah. Well, I've kind of warmed to Montgomery, but man, seeing him at pick 21, I don't know. It's just hard to know how they'll actually, divvy up the workload. But that is a little bit of sticker shock to me for someone that got 9 carries last week or something like that. Jake says QJ first read target share has been kind of nutty though. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that is true. I'm not out on QJ. I am taking him from time to time. I'm just a little worried that Herbert's going to be under pressure a little bit more than we've seen with Joe Alt getting down. Tiger Uppercut. If it's Tennessee, maybe not. Yeah, I think maybe next week. Maybe next week, Tiger Uppercut. Tennessee is looking pretty listless, and if Arizona gets up early, like they're apt to do against this Titans team, we might. The thing that defenses thrive on is QB dropbacks, and so if the Cardinals don't have to throw quite as much, or they're not going deep, it might just be hard to generate turnovers or sacks, which is what you need for a good team defense score. The Gale says, feels like a guaranteed touchdown at worst. Yeah, possible. James reminding me, Joe Alt went out first of the game last week. Okay. I don't know why, James. I thought that happened kind of in the third quarter. So if that's true, then I might be might be being a bit of a panicking on the Chargers offense. James Young, Hampton has been running behind bad lines his entire college career. I wouldn't overthink the LA Chargers too much. That is a fair point, and it's not like the Washington defense is particularly frightening. So I mean, I think you're right, and the market is completely agreeing with you, right? I mean, we have Hampton at 5, we got QJ at 25, Ladd 32. Herbert's going to go probably in the next few picks here. So I think the market is in agreement with your assessment there, James. And again, I'm not taking them. I've been tie breaking a little away from them too much and just looking for reasons to galaxy brain it a little bit, perhaps. Just looking ahead, what am I working with? So people are really scared off of Hubbard, which is interesting. Keenan Allen coming. Trying to see, is there anything truly interesting for us? Zay Flowers I've gotten in the very last round, so I have a little bit of difficulty picking him at this point in the draft. Man, What happened to these rooms? There's like nobody to take. This is so brutal. This is so brutal. These at this point in the draft. All right, so we could be looking at an unstacked quarterback. We could take Zay Flowers again, opposite Woody Marks, although I'm not committed to game stacking here, and I don't necessarily love Flowers this week, but I will take him late. All right, so Kyler goes. I mean, Dak unstacked's interesting. Goff unstacked is equally interesting. I don't necessarily hate that. If they're blowing out Cincy, you don't have to have him with any one. If no one Lion gets there, you could see Goff unstacked get home. What does Easy have? Easy's probably not going to do that. All right, so we're on the clock. I'm really just not that into Keenan Allen there. I don't think I have a need to take any of these tight ends at this point. All right, we're going to take Goff unstacked here. We're going to annoy the heck out of the Amon-Ra drafter, who maybe was trying to push him, but probably shouldn't have if you really wanted him. We'll take Goff, and then we kind of have a concept of a plan for something we'll do with our next pick. James asking if you were forced to add one Carolina Panther to every roster. I think it would just be Ted McMillan for me. I mean, cost adjusted, then I would consider Tremble because he's free, but I still think this could be like the Ted McMillan smash game we've been waiting for. So maybe even at cost, I would be more into that. All right, so we've got Goff, Achane, Marks, Waddle, and I'm going to queue up T. Higgins, which is the plan. We'll play Higgins across from Goff, because if we take Goff, we do probably think Cincinnati needs to like show some signs of life. Higgins, I think, is being a little bit slept on. They were trying to get him more involved, a little bit of a squeaky wheel narrative. Detroit's defense, not scary. You know, he has not done well with Browning, but they've also played some tougher defenses. So we'll do Higgins here. Get kind of a play this game, but play it kind of weirdly. And James saying Higgins is dead in this offense. Well, we'll see, James. I'm going to give it one more game. Because if it's ever going to work, I think it's here. So we will try it again. Like some of these other sprinkles I like Olave, Flowers, Wandale, Shaheed, Slayton, like they're fine to click as well. But I did kind of want to get some unique way to play this Detroit Cincy game that I don't think is being done super commonly. But it could be bad. Like it definitely could be ass there. Greg says feels like bad college O-line in the ACC isn't quite 1-1 with bad pro O-line, but I dig what you're saying. Chris asking, is Coker get activated soon? I think the last I heard was they said Coker was still week to week, Chris, but I could be wrong. That was my recollection, and that was like earlier this week. So I don't think we're in line for Coker just yet, but stay tuned. Joel says Detroit secondary down DJ Reed, who's the best player in the back end since Reed receivers are alive this week. Yeah, again, I think there's a chance that at home we see, a little bit more life out of Cincy, but could be wrong. I don't want to take Higgins every draft. I'm not saying to windmill him in every pick, but we are trying to win a contest with players that are not 100% drafted with some unique pairings. And so we're gonna try a few things at the back end. It's definitely a lot neater in these drafts when your last two picks are quarterback, tight end, because you've already built everything, and so it feels a little bit less. It feels a little bit less like you're getting too loose. But like ending your team like Noah did here with Sutton, Nix, and Ingram is much more comfy than doing like Goff, Higgins, and like mystery tight end. So, I certainly see I certainly see the advantage of kind of getting a solid core of 4 that makes sense, and then ending with some kind of backs, finishing a stack and adding a tight end or something like that. All right, see if anyone's doing anything interesting. Westbrook Achane going here. I have not seen him drafted yet. We saw Nez take Malik Washington with pick 71 in another draft. So people are trying to play the Dolphins' third receiver. I don't think a lot of people are going to go to NWI. That's definitely a way to get different in these. I don't think it's the way I would get different, but we will see. Let's see what old Tubins does after. I think there's another Schmo. I don't think this is the Schmo. Well, anyway, there we see Darius Slayton go. Jackson Dart, of course, is somewhat popular as a one-off. You can take him unstacked. Has the rushing upside. Makes sense. We'll see what we get out of New Orleans, but in a dome indoors, that could be the like fun bad game of the week. So we will see. James, I don't know if I brought this up, noting it is not a simple matchup issue. Yeah, I mean, again, Browning. The coaches came out and said, or Taylor came out and said that he was happy with Browning essentially, and they weren't looking to add anybody. We'll see if that changes this week. I don't think they need to beat Detroit, but they need to at least show like some fight. So we will see what we can get. We're coming up at tight end. What do we got? Mason Taylor. I like Tommy Tremble a lot, and Tommy Tremble does make a little bit of sense if I want to game stack this environment. It's a tough choice. I think I will do Tremble because I'm kind of built another game stack. If I'm going to take Achane and Waddle, that does potentially say that something happens here. There's no need necessarily for Carolina to bring back, but I also think Mason Taylor is going to be drafted in almost every contest. Tommy Tremble probably in about half of them from what I've seen in the Dawg Bowl. So we'll end this team with Tommy Tremble. Jatavion Sanders, I believe, is still a ways away from returning. At least I hope so, or that pick is going to be terrible. Easy takes Baker Mayfield. Makes sense. So Easy's team is Jonathan Taylor, Emeka Egbuka, Quentin Johnston, Tony Pollard, Juwan Johnson, and Baker. Baker, of course, did crop up on the injury report with a biceps injury, plus I think it was ankle, something else. So he did not practice Wednesday. We'll see what that is. It doesn't seem thus far too serious, but these things do, definitely monitor the practice reports today. So that'll wrap the first Dawg Bowl of the day. I don't mind the team that we assembled. We got a little bit of a game stack with the Dolphins and Panthers. We get a little mini correlation, hopefully, between Goff and Higgins. And yep, off we go. On to the next one. Let's hop into a main BR. And we're waiting for 3. If anyone wants to draft, waiting for 3. All right, let's see. My feed doesn't look like there's anything too interesting, but I guess it's still too early for any kind of practice news to be coming out yet today. So we'll keep an eye on that. The Gale asking if Trumbull didn't get 8 targets and a touchdown, would he even be a thought this week? That's fair. Probably not. Probably not. You could still make this. You could make the same argument about Mason Taylor, though. Like, he got 7 targets, I think, last week, or 8 targets. And he was kind of a bit of an afterthought as well. I mean, the thing about Tremble, though, the Gale, is that Jatavion Sanders was like a fringe player, and I think Tremble just stepped into that role. Like, he absorbed pretty much all of the tight end usage there in Carolina. So he might have been on the radar. I don't think he'd be drafted at the same clip he is, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to pick on the Dolphins defense in any way possible this week. So that's That's kind of the thought process there. I mean, maybe Mason Taylor only looked good because he got to play the Dolphins. So I don't know. I'm willing to pick on the Finns if I get the opportunity. All right, so we got JT Bittiger in here. He took Jonathan Taylor at the 1. We are, of course, at the 5. And we are going to swap to some night driving for the BR. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to do the timestamps. We're going to do the timestamps again. So bear with me for 1 second. We're at the 5. I think we will take Hampton. We're not going to live in fear of the offensive line issues. Oh, Dawg Bowl 1, and now it is, let's say, just 2100 BR 1. All right, sweet. All right, we're gonna try to keep up with that if we can. And you know what? We'll just do. Let's do Derrick Henry. Let's do Derrick Henry. I mean, historically, for some reason, he plays against Houston and he goes absolutely nuts. Let's hope that happens again this week for old Derrick Henry. I think people are very concerned about Baltimore. Derrick Henry, was a first-round pick for the early part of the season in BRs, and now he's slipping, an ADP of 10. If he's bad this week, it might really be grim. But without Lamar Jackson, I think they're just gonna try to give him the ball as much as he can handle. I mean, I'm sure they want to save Henry for the playoffs, but they're 1-3. If they don't win this game, like they're pretty live to miss the playoffs. So I think it's kind of now or never for Henry. I definitely want to sprinkle him in at market, maybe even slightly above market in the main BRs. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to timestamp the first nose blow of the day. Unfortunately, I am still a little under the weather. The kiddo's doing good, but he woke me up at about 3 a.m. I did not get back to sleep, so I apologize. We're not running on all at 100% today, but we're doing our best. We're doing our best, and so I'll make my next couple picks, and then you can get the inaugural muted camera blowing of the nose. So JT Bittiger, he takes Taylor, McBride, and Nico. I think that's a perfectly reasonable start. I like Trey McBride a lot this week, as noted earlier. I think he's going to see quite a bit of work. I think my preference here would be Warren. If Cam Mason allows me, I'll do that. And then I think I would love Warren McMillan is kind of what I would like to build this round. If not, we will take the team in another direction. Cam Mason taking his time. I mean, your name's Cam. You got to take Cam Scatabo, right? Yeah. All right, so he takes Scatabo. That makes sense. We'll take Warren on the team. I'll queue up Tet. This guy with 2 wide receivers already is pretty live to just take 2 running backs here. We'll see what he does. He takes Genty Bowers. We will take Tetaroya McMillan. I'll pull the board up. All right, give me 1 second. All right, so we are up now. If people are interested, I could also run a PTP. We could do some of the primetime slates if people want. I have not done any of those, to be candid. So we'd be kind of learning those together. But it's definitely an interesting slate. My kind of thought on the PTP is if you don't get one of the top 3 picks, you're probably in some trouble, because it's got to be just off the cuff. CMC, I'm sure, is the 101. Puka's probably the 102. And then Adams. And then what happens after that? I guess Kyron. Like it's got to be pretty. It's got to get really thin, really fast, especially on the Niners side of of the ball there. I guess I'm not including on the Sunday night game, so maybe it is a little bit different. I'm thinking, I'm thinking of Showdown on DraftKings. Showdown is really wonky because the ancillary Niners pieces are all very cheap. So I think it's a day where the winning lineup is going to leave like several $1,000s on the table. It seems unlikely to me that it'll be perfectly maxed out. It's kind of my vibesy take. Although I'm sure if you use CMC at captain, then Puka, then Adams, and those are the only three guys that get home, you win with like a couple of $200 punts or something like that. I don't know. It'll be it's kind of a fun slate. It's definitely one though where I'm not going to be afraid to leave money on the table. Sunday Night Football is the Bills Patriots, which is of course the Steph Diggs revenge games. For those of you who believe in the narrative street, that is out there. That is out there for us. I think my favorite receiver here is JMO. I'm pretty into JMO this week. This lineup could be a little dupey. If we take JMO, we might need to do something offbeat. Debo, Jaden Daniels is live, although Debo did miss practice, which is mildly concerning. I will take JMO. We're gonna play this team pretty straight up. Quarterback though, we got some options, right? We could take Bryce Young, which probably won't be how most people do it. I think most people would take Goff, but I think Goff's already gone, so we can't do that. Daniel Jones is certainly live with Warren. Jaden Daniels would have been kind of a fun way to get different. If I want to take an unstacked QB, I could do like Dart or Nix. I think that might be getting a little cute, and I'll just take Daniel Jones and stack him up. This could be duped. This could be a little dupey. We didn't really scroll anything, but I do like the way it's constructed enough to eat the potential dupe risk, to just build a lineup of players I'm all pretty into. GM Tyler, hey Tyler, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. We're running some BRs, Dawg Bowls, talking a little prime time palooza. Speaking of prime time palooza, let's see what that's looking like. Prime time palooza. Let's try the hurry up actually before we hop into the palooza. All right, we're off in a prime time hurry up. James Young, my concern for Cincinnati comes from the Lions' defensive front. The Bengals have allowed the fourth most sacks since Browning took over, and Detroit leads the league in sack rate. I don't think Browning will have the time to throw to anyone. Yeah, that is the risk. I am definitely taking. When I have the money, I'm taking the Lions defense on DraftKings for full week, or for the main slate DFS. At least that's where I am on a Thursday morning. Wait for your projections and injuries and all that to actually make your lineups. But it is hard for me to. There is a ton of value on this slate. There are so many good running backs you can take cheap. Between Woody Marks, if you want a Carolina guy, if Rashad White or Tucker, or whoever your cheap running back du jour is, you should have the salary to pay up at defense if you want. There are some who say never pay up at defense. That's fine. If that's your jam, don't do that. But if you it does feel like the Lions kind of have that perfect blend of a defense that can get after the quarterback, as James notes, plus a quarterback that will throw interceptions. Do we want Josh Allen or James Cook here? Let's take Josh Allen. I think he can separate. Of course, by the way, Nez is in here. Nez grinding the $3 hurry up. He is truly a man of the people. I mean, this one of the hardest working people in the industry, Nez here, and we see him in the primetime hurry up streets. So we'll pay attention to how Nez is building, because this is always good alpha. But yeah, and so we also have the Lions, who are likely to score a lot of points, forcing the Bengals to throw the ball. is just exactly what you want in a defense. Mike asking, do you live close enough to Steve to mess with him while he streams maybe a couple? I don't live close to Steve. I live close to his sister. I live very close to Meg. I could, if I could definitely bug her, but no, Steve lives, I think over an hour away. Tyler Nez got a baby to feed. That's true. I guess that's why I'm here too. Cause I got a 2-year-old and he eats more than I do. This kid is huge. I don't know how I have this giant baby, but he is like big AF. All right. We got Allen and Judkins here. Man. I hate to buy into the Kincaid industrial complex, but you know what? I'm actually kind of neutral as to which tight end I get. I don't think Nez can't even take 2 tight ends. So let's take Diggs. He takes Shakir and Addison. Okay. All right. So you know what? I guess, there are 4 tight ends on this slate that you can take. So maybe we take Keon Coleman. I don't know if the better play is to take Travion Henderson, actually. Let's take Travion because I think I'm more likely to find a good scroll receiver that I'm okay living with than a scroll running back. So let's take Travion. It would be pretty nice if we got one of Coleman or Kincaid. There's a good chance we get iced out at both, in which case we're going to make the Fannin bet with our next pick. But what can you do? Let's see what Nez is doing. He's got Cook, Kyron, Shakir, and Addison. So he's clearly more QB agnostic on this slate, which I think does make sense. If you don't get Allen, then pushing it seems fine because you can live with Wentz, you can live with Stafford. It's more than living with. Stafford's a very good player, so not too bad. Yeah, easy to max $3 credits, $3 contest with site credit. Yeah, it is. If I don't know anything about site credit life, but if I did, I would be I'd be pretty happy. All right, do we want Kendrick Bourne? Jesus Christ, it's Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, let's do. No, wait. Who do I want? Fannin? Do I want to make the Fannin bet or keep stacking the Patriots? You know what? Let's stack the Pats. Let's stack the Pats and then we'll take Bourne because Nez can't take a wide receiver. So we'll let Nez make the Fannin bet, and we'll take Kendrick Bourne here. So this primetime hurry up is Josh Allen, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, Steph Diggs, Kendrick Bourne, and Hunter Henry. So we're gonna play this that Josh Allen doesn't pepper any one receiver with anything, but New England has to fight back. Yeah, I've made worse teams. Yeah, Mike, that'd be hilarious. Meg would, just just harassing poor Meg as she tries to stream a sibling showdown. But no, we are pretty much neighbors. Tyler, sounds like you got a future athlete. Yeah. I don't know where he got it from because it's not me. Well, that's not true. I was fairly athletic in my heyday. I'm just I'm dusty now. Mike says big baby means you better start getting those bigger sizes because the growth spurt's a few moments away. They're always the chunkiest before they level out. Yeah, absolutely. It is funny seeing the pictures like when he's in his like fat phases. It's really cute. The Gale DeMarcus Robinson revenge. If you didn't mention, I did not mention the DeMarcus Robinson revenge game, and sadly, the room ignored that too because DeMarcus Robinson sitting here undrafted. I think Josh Palmer might be injured. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with Palmer. He doesn't have any tag here, but I thought I heard he picked something up. Just if you're in scroll down land, it's possible Curtis Samuel's active for this game. No one took Davis. A little bit annoying, Isaiah Bond, not in the pool. He's not in the pool at all. And Isaiah Bond actually might be like live. So somehow Bond didn't make it in the pool. So if you're playing these and it's your first one and you've like, I have a cheeky wide receiver scroll, don't count on Isaiah Bond because he is not there. So let's hop in another one of those. That was kind of fun. Let's see what we can do. And then maybe we'll get back to the main slate. Of course, if people don't like these primetime ones, I will not do them. Prime time. Oh, $100. Jesus Christ. I'm not doing that. All right. Prime time hurry up. There we go. $3. Waiting for 3. All right. If anyone wants to get in a prime time hurry up, hop on in. James says, with the way Mac Jones has been hyper targeting his wide receiver 1 the past few years, it's probably an oversight that Demarcus Robinson isn't drafted. James, do you think Demarcus Robinson will be his wide receiver 1 this week? Because I think I was under the impression it was Bourne, and I thought Mac Jones had a rapport with Bourne previously, but I could be wrong. And that's why we're doing these. I'm willing to learn with all of you, but that was my impression, and so I think everyone's premise here. I'm with you, Gail. He's your sleeper. He's going undrafted. I think if we can prioritize the other skill position players, we might be able to push receiver. That said, it's a little scary pushing Puka, a little lesser extent Jefferson, and Adams. Definitely live to do 1 running back teams if we think some of those if we think one of those Niner receivers can get there. But I agree with you. Mac Jones does have a tendency to latch on to his primary. James Pearsall out, Jennings out, Bourne has been there for a cup of coffee. Demarcus Robinson knows the offense best, just a deduction. That's fair. Mike says wrong. The 49ers going off is Sky. It's finally Sky Moore season at an island game where no one gets any benefits. Oh my God. Yeah, this is the I like that there's Sky Moore extremists out there. Like that there are those who are, they still have the Sky Moore Chiefs jersey and they're just not ready. Or even better, like Sky Moore, rookie patch auto football cards, and they're like, "Oh, this is my time. These are coming back. These are coming back." All right, so we're at the 4. We should at least get James Cook or Josh Allen. My preference would. All right, we just did a Josh Allen team, but I just don't think it's worth skipping Allen here for what you can get. You know what? All right, I say that, but let's get a little different. Let's do Kyron Judkins. I'm a little nervous that Blake Corum is starting to eat our lunch a touch, but I don't want to play scared. Let's go double running back. Let's go Kyron Judkins. We'll forego Josh Allen. We'll try to do something a little different. I would imagine most of these primetime slates, the 4-hole will take Allen, so maybe this gets us slightly different. Might be not a lot of pairings of Kyron and Judkins. It could be because we just vaporized a ton of projection, but we'll try to get a little different here in the in this primetime hurry up. The Gale asking, what if everyone was early on Travion? It's possible. I took Travion in the last draft, and I don't think that's a bad a bad click whatsoever. Mike Rob, dude, the ship chasing pump had me buying somebody's Sky Moore rookie cards down so bad. Got to put that horrible take in the universe for a little hope. Bourne and Robinson better play. Well, I mean, you never know. You never know. Sometimes those 5%. If you could get a player that's like barely owned in these and they score a touchdown and you kind of nut out the other spots, like it could be enough. But man, it's hard to it's just hard to see it with Sky Moore, but we will see. We will see. All right, so we got Kyron and Judkins. We'll pull the board up so people can see what's going on. We are obviously done at running back here on this slate. Hunter Henry, the first tight end off the board. It's a little annoying. I was kind of hoping to be able to go Henry, Drake May, or Diggs, Drake May. That was kind of the thesis here. To be honest, I'm pausing. So we've got Dylan Gabriel starting, right? So let's go Jerry Jeudy and say that Gabriel is hyper targeting him, and we'll go we'll go with the Kincaid Industrial Complex on this team. I'm tempted to take Addison, but I think you've all have talked me into the scroll down Niner receivers. Maybe we'll try to take Demarcus Robinson on this team. So if we can go Mac Jones, Robinson to end this team, that might be a little different. Loading up on Cleveland Browns with a rookie quarterback against the Vikings defense seems kind of messed up when you say it out loud, but we'll try it. We'll give it a whirl. Do you think the winner has at least one Rams player? Well, being that I took Kyron the Gale, I hope so, but it's possible not. It is possible they do not. I think you can build these without Rams if you need to. I actually, when I started doing these, I forgot that we got 3 games on this PTP, which is does make them fun. I think the 3-game slates are much more fun than the 2-gamers, because we have the London game built in. So you have 4 quarterbacks, and it's not a mad scramble at tight end, because with 6 teams, you usually can find 4 usable tight ends there. All right, so let's see what Jay Roto does. He cannot take Mac Jones from us. Hopefully he doesn't take DeMarcus. That'd be a little annoying, because that's like our plan here. All right, so he takes Hawkinson. So let's do Mac Jones, DeMarcus Robinson as our little stack here. So we've got Mac Jones, Kyron, Quinton Judkins, Jerry Jeudy, DeMarcus Robinson, Dalton Kincaid. This is a perfectly fine primetime hurry up team to me. I don't know what you all think. We skipped over Allen, and maybe we got a little bit of some unique pairings there. And I don't think Mac Jones, DeMarcus Robinson is going to be done in every draft. We saw Robinson go undrafted, so yeah, it seems kind of fun. Maybe a little heavier on Cleveland than we want. We got no Vikings. Could be bad, but Cleveland's defense is good. I mean, they could definitely turn Wentz over and have some short fields to work with. So I'm not opposed to what we just constructed there. Let's shift gears back into the main slate. Let's do a battle royale. And I failed utterly on my time stamping. Failed utterly. All right, what are we at? We're at 42, 50, BR2, and some PTPs. Timestamps. Oops. All right. Well, we're timestamping this one. So it does not look like anyone here got in. A Magikarp, big high volume player. He's at the 6, so we can keep an eye on what he is doing. Also, it's been 43 minutes, 22 seconds. I have not asked for a like or a sub. Please like and sub. Please like and sub. It helps keep the this little operation chugging along. I finally got a haircut, so I'm able to afford haircuts again, and that's only because you all have liked and subbed. We have roared past 200 subs. We're on the road to 220. 250, I guess, is the next goal. That would be fantastic. Would love to hit 300 by the end of football season. That would be so cool. But you know what? We grind on regardless. We grind on regardless, and truly appreciate hanging out with all of you. Super fun to do these. Go AZ Cards asking a real question. How many Scatabo talks did I miss? I don't think I've said Scatabo's name on stream yet today. Go AZ Cards. I'm pretty sure I have not. I'll take Omari and Hampton here. We're not going to play scared, but Mike Robb said, "Damn, missed the BR because you got the fastest click movement in a streaming game. Congrats to you." And Mike, I apologize if I count these down. Then they snap fill and people get in the underflow. I would rather people miss and get in the overflow than go early and get in the underflow, because then you have to do a draft, and if you get in the overflow, you could always stay if you really want to draft, but if you wanted to draft on stream, then you can just bail. So I do apologize there. All right, we'll take a Garrett Wilson share. Sure, we'll go chalk. We'll go Hampton, Garrett Wilson. We'll see if Fields comes to us. Maybe we'll try to do Fields. Like this is the highest total game, this Jets-Dallas game. I don't think you should fade it. I have some concerns it could get grosser than we want. The Jets really want to keep it on the ground. They don't want to unleash Fields. If the Jets start playing from behind, it could get really bad. They are not built to play from behind, but when they're ahead, they're going to run. So, I mean, I see a path to failure for the Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson side. But the Dallas defense really stinks. So I also see a path to, 14 of the grossest catches for Garrett Wilson and a touchdown or two and a Justin Fields scamper. So I don't want to be out on the game. I don't want to be all in either. In DFS, I probably want to be at market. Single entry, I don't know. That's a good question if that's like the way you want to take it. Or not. Jalen Hurts going. All right, you know what? We will take Cam Scatterbo. We will continue to chalk it up on this side of the universe here. Maybe we take. Maybe we just take Jaden Daniels, and we'll game stack this Charger game a little bit if a Magic Carp doesn't take Daniels, and then we'll try to scroll at tight end because this is pretty chalky so far. We're not breaking any ground, and especially if you go Daniels Samuel here, because there are going to be a lot of people who just naturally have this game stacking inclination to them. But I do think Daniels is too cheap. It seems like he's going to play. I think when the Q tag gets lifted, he probably moves into the second or the third round. I think he just moves into the third round. I don't think you get any kind of like crazy new combos, but I do think he's going to like bump up ever so slightly. All right. Go AZ Cards Talk. Mr. Candle's grinding out some DBQs yesterday. Punch that ticket. Hey, go AZ Cards. I sure hope so. We are grinding them. We will see. I would absolutely love to. I would love to make it to Kansas City. Mike Rob, you're all good, man. I get it from time to time. Even if someone counts down, it's always luck of the draw. Keep up the great work, Doge. Hey, Mike Rob, thanks so much. I truly appreciate it. I really do. Thank you. Greg says, how do we feel about the sneaky Tolbert scroll? Too far out targeted Turpin in both games, and he DNP yesterday. Sauce on Pickens. And I definitely don't hate it. I think if Turpin is out, I like it a lot more. My recollection is when they both play, they tend to kind of like rotate in and out. I think if one is out, the other might consolidate that, and then I definitely see the vision. Might be a hair thin for me for the main BR. We'll take Debo to pair with Daniels here, and then we're gonna get a little scrolly at tight end, I think. Like maybe we just scroll for like Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews with likely back, it's a little thin with Cooper Rush at quarterback. I don't think people are going to click Andrews, but there is a good chance that Cooper Rush is capable of supporting a receiver. It could be Flowers, but again, I'm worried that he gets the like Stingley treatment, which could kind of lock him down. I don't know. I think we could see some like just one of these tight ends on Baltimore getting like a kind of annoyingly high amount of targets. So we'll play Mark Andrews. I think we've definitely deduped ourselves doing that. Now, do we want a 1v1 of this first with Mark Andrews versus like a competent tight end? Maybe not, but I do want to sprinkle in some Andrews stuff. So this team ends up being Jaden Daniels, Amari Hampton, Cam Scatterbo, Garrett Wilson, Debo, and Mark Andrews. James Young, IDK, maybe DK salary relief, but want max output on. Yes, James, that was actually my thought. Is I probably like him more as like a $3,200 punt in a GPP than in the BR. But yeah, like Tolbert for 12 man. Yeah, 12 man, I see the vision there. In the 6 persons, it's like let's see who's not drafted. Like you gotta think one of MHJ, Sutton, Pittman, Flowers, McConkey, Devontae, a lot. Like this is, I don't know. It feels like it feels like getting really fancy in the 6 persons, but I agree. I agree on the 12 person. Greg brings up a great point. What are your top 3 sauces? Oh man. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the chalk is like barbecue, honey mustard. I don't know. I got to think about the third sauce. I got to think about the third sauce that would go on there. All right. Yeah. Yum yum. I agree. I was almost thinking like duck sauce, Chris Burkle, like getting a little, going a little far afield with the third sauce, but that might be too much. All right, we're in the BR. I think. Did we join a BR? No. We're not joining a best puck because I cannot name 10 hockey players currently. All right, well, this snap fell. That didn't work. But if anyone tried to get in and I almost rugged them, they did get in this one. Nope. All right, nobody got in. All right, I'm going to try to timestamp this. All that sauce talk got me distracted. All right, 520 BR3. All right. Yeah, sweet and sour, huge oversight by me. I got distracted by the honey mustard. Sweet and sour, big shout out there. Buffalo, certainly. Brees the smash. Yeah, Brees is Brees is not expensive here. He's picked 25, so he gets drafted most of the time. But he's one of the reasons I don't always want to go early running back because I like getting some Brees Hall. So I'm with you there, Justin. Agreed there. James Young, sweet chili. Not bad. Greg, a little Thai chili. I'm with you there. Taco Bell fire sauce. Dear God, I can't, Chris. I cannot recall the last time I had Taco Bell fire sauce. But I can't even say I'm gonna like go to Taco Bell to try it because that would just be lying. I don't know when I'll be in a Taco Bell next. But you're getting some. Greg is agreeing with you. Greg in the chats calls it an exquisite pull, which is, I believe, how they describe Taco Bell fire sauce, as exquisite. All right, let's we'll go chalk again. We'll go Achane at the 3 here. And we're not going to timestamp the nose blowing, but we're getting stuffy here. So brutal. Never yeah, just getting sick is the nut low. It's the absolute nut low. Chris noting they sell fire sauce at Walmart. I'm just not sure what I would put it on. Like, I feel like the fire sauce has to be as strong as it is to cover up the like grade F meat. And again, I'm Taco Bell. You may be, I apologize, allegedly grade F. I don't know what quality. I don't want to get sued by Yum Enterprises. But let me rephrase. It might have to be as strong as it is to enhance the flavor of the high quality ingredients that they are using over at T-Bell. All right, we got Achane here. I think we're going to take a receiver. I would not mind getting JSN here. I mean, that would be kind of a nice little start to the team. Of course. All right. Yeah, let's go JSN. Although part of me is like, well, it might be kind of hard to get Saquon Achane. It's not going to be rare by any means. All right, let's go. Let's do it. I know I said I wanted to scroll for Brees Hall, but I'm okay just taking this value at this particular team. Yeah, no Taco Bell sponsorship for candles. Gosh darn it, I can't believe it. I'm just like, vaporizing future value by losing my T-Bell sponsorship. Mike worked at Taco Bell. You may get sued for calling it meat. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. Now there's just no winning. Greg, fire sauce, pretty solid sauce mixture, if you will. A good base. All right. Mike says they have a 12-hour reheat rule on their meat, so I would never go there before noon. It's the same from the night before. That is good alpha. That is very good alpha on that. James, poblano avocado sauce is the LaDainian Tomlinson of sauces. James, I gotta win a Dawg Bowl seat before I can be affording poblano avocado sauce. But that does sound high quality. The only thing I know about poblanos is like from the Food Network is you got to put them like directly onto your gas stove and scorch them, and it looks like so fancy. I'm sure I would burn down my kitchen if I tried to heat a poblano pepper that way. But I'm like, man, if I ever make it, I'm just gonna throw a poblano onto my stove and just fire it up. All right, we got Achane and Saquon here. We'll do again, I feel like I do this too much, but I do really like this potentially being a gross, fun game of Tet McMillan versus Achane and possibly playing it through the Bryce Young side. That also could yield me about 10 points from my quarterback, but I think if we get a Tet McMillan breakout, we could get one of those just random Bryce Young spike games. When they blew out the Falcons, they got a defensive touchdown, which kind of took the air out of the ball for them, and then they got smashed by the Patriots. I think we could just be in for like a surprising Bryce Young game. I'd also not be surprised if Bryce Young is just like god awful in this take ages like sour milk here. We'll do a Jake Ferguson though. I'm still a little concerned about Bowers. I thought the knee brace was going to come off this week. It sounds like it's not. So we are going to see. Chris Burkle, what we have learned today, Candles is a man of the people. I try to be Chris Burkle. If nothing else, try to be a friend to the community. But we'll see. So I think we're going to end this team with Bryce Young and a wide receiver. Question of which wide receiver. I don't think I want to overstack Waddle and Achane, although, again, definitely could, right? I don't love the overstacks in the main BR. To me, that's much more of a like deposit kingdom thing to do. I like the possibility that Jamison Williams goes kind of nuke against Cincinnati, but you know what? Let's just capture all of the Miami offense here. Could we play this through Tua? Yes, but I think I would rather just play this as a shootout, and Bryce Young has some rushing upside. So we'll do this on the Bryce side. I'll queue up Tua in case for some reason Stevie takes Bryce Young. I don't know why he would. That wouldn't make any sense when he has Hampton and QJ. He probably is taking Daniels or Herbert, but you never know. You never know. People are entitled to do whatever they would like. So I think I'm going to hop into a Dawg Bowl. Let's hop into a Dawg Bowl, see where that's at. Hold on 1 second. All right, we're hopping into a Dawg Bowl. We're waiting for 6. All right, I'll wait on that. I'll wait in there. We'll go back to this room, 2 picks away. We'll see what people are doing. Zach Ertz getting drafted. Haven't seen a ton of that, and when I have, I've generally seen it paired with Daniel, so that's kind of interesting. Also interesting, only 2 quarterbacks went before the final round here. Justin Herbert goes. Like if I hadn't have taken Waddle, I think there's an argument to taking Daniels here and saying Daniels outscores whatever quarterback. But I do think I kind of made my bed for this double stack, so I will continue with that. But I certainly would understand somebody going a different direction. I also could have taken Dak, but I do think, with going with the 2 Dolphins pieces with Tet McMillan, it made more sense to stick with the Bryce Young plan. But just a reminder to, stay flexible when you do these, because you could just like randomly get some like cool value you weren't expecting. But yeah, we're going to see one of Dak or Daniels not get drafted in this room. Let's see what Landon Cox takes. I would imagine he's going to take Dak because he has Pickens and Javonte, but again, he might be looking at unstacked Jaden Daniels and saying, what if? What if? Nope, he takes Dak. All right, makes sense. Makes sense. All right, we are in the Dawg Bowl, waiting for 3. If anyone wants to hop in, the water is fine. The water is fine. All right, let me get the timestamp. Okay, 1 Dawg Bowl. All right, sweet. All right, waiting for 2, waiting for 1. All right, let's see what we get. In the meantime, I have 1 Eliminator team left. I don't know if I went over it last time, but I have my 1 surviving team. I middled it and did 47 Eliminators, which was absolutely terrible. I will never... I'm either going to max this contest or not play it next year, but having 1 Eliminator team really sucks. What's going on here? What, is this supposed to expand? I'm clicking on it, nothing. Okay, here we go. Our 1 Eliminator team. We are playing Eric Sheik, and Eric's team is pretty good. He's got Allen, Tua, Darnold, but he did lose Tyreek, which is a pretty big loss. Although I like the rest of his team, so I'm not going to say like, oh, we're going to win because of that. He lost Tyreek, but he still has the rest of his team is completely healthy. I like Ted McMillan. I like Sutton. I don't mind Judy. I like Pittman this week. So definitely has enough firepower. He's got Tyler Warren. So he's definitely a little wounded, but still has some heavy hitters on his team. A little thin at running back. He's got Saquon and Scatabo, and beyond that, not much. Our team has been lucky with the injuries. We got Mahomes, Darnold, and Rodgers. Our running back room starts off sketchy with Chase Brown and Kamara, but then we do have Scatabo and Woody Marks. So the Woody Marks being there is kind of nice. So we got a deep running back room. Wide receivers are all healthy. Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Keon Coleman, Mims, and then Kelsey. Tucker Kraft on bye, so we're going to be reliant on Travis Kelsey having a big week. I'd say it's pretty tight, even with him losing Tyreek. I don't think I'm like guaranteed to pull through, but that is the last team we have left there. My big Eliminator team, I only did 1. It's still alive. If we look at that, I don't think we've lost anybody too bad in there. All our quarterbacks are healthy playing this week, although we have Cam Ward, which is like the biggest 0 ever. And, Chase Brown is really dusty, but we do have CMC. Garrett Wilson, Cortland Sutton, Deebo Samuel, Bateman, Mims, Slayton, and Turpin. So maybe we get a little Slayton resurgence. And then again, we're relying on Travis Kelsey, Brenton Strange, and Chig. So again, hopefully we just don't finish in the bottom 2 and we can stay alive in the big Eliminator. But that is where we're at in the elimination matchups. All right, so we are still waiting for 1, and now we are off. We are off. Chris saying both my eliminators started with 12-1 and both face neighbors. Oh, nice. Nice. All right. Tim, hey, first of all, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Shout out to Rico Dowdle. We'll see. We'll see if it's Rico Dowdle week. If it is, he's going to start getting drafted in these Dawg Bowls. I haven't seen him get taken yet because if Chuba does play, you're not really too thrilled. But yeah. It looks like we got some friends and family in here. We've got Drinking Bleach, aka Skeletor. He is in here at the 6. We got Mr. Worth, aka J-Dubs, at the 10. Again, we got Tubins, who is won a seat and wants more. We got Patrick Barnes, YouTube. We got Cut Cutler. So truly another group of the elite in here. All right. 104. 101. Eliminator Recap. All right. I'm just updating the timestamps, and we're off and running. We're at the 7 hole. We should be able to get one of these elite running backs if we want them. Although if something like an Amon-Ra fell to us, it'd be tough to pass that up. JSN I like, but again, probably lean more towards the running backs here. But we will see what the people do. James has 12 eliminators left, 6 looking good. The other 6 have no quarterbacks, Tyreek, Neighbors, running back room, and tatters, wide receiver rooms that look terrible. Yeah, it's funny because there's definitely going to be some like head-to-heads of like 2 teams and neither has a quarterback or something. Like you're gonna still see teams that have like major problems as time goes on. As much as I do love Scatabo, I'll take a Derrick Henry share. I just want to click Scatabo. I really just want to click my guy. You know what? I'm doing it. Scatabo, let's go to Kansas City together, brother. I'm taking Scatabo. People can laugh, they can guffaw, but we're gonna live our truth and we're gonna take our guy. I mean, I truly do think Scatabo in the dome against the Saints is a smash. I do like Derrick Henry. My issue is that I'm not doing enough Dawg Bowls to where I'm like, oh, I'm going to have a big portfolio. Like I am going to have to make some decisions. And I think that's going to be one that I am going to make. And if people want to make fun of me, that is perfectly their prerogative. But that said, we did have 3 other competent individuals passing on Derrick Henry in the same boat. Only for Tubins, of course, to scoop him up at pick 11 there. So we've got Scatabo. I did get made fun of in the Discord for taking Scatabo at 6 yesterday. If they want to make fun of me again for taking him at 7, I have no problem there. You'll see a lot of this at the 12, Pickens and Fields. You'll see a lot of Wilson and Fields. You'll see a lot of Wilson and Pickens. This is kind of like the Dallas Jets zone of the draft here. You're going to see you're going to see that in kind of heavy rotation, and we already see the running backs have gone very quick. You know, Breece Hall, he goes at pick 20 in the 6-person VRs. He goes at pick 9 here, and I think that's not too far off of ADP. I don't think that was he's pick 10 ADP. So a little bit of a delta between where he's going in the 12 persons versus the 6. So the 12 person teams are really into that this week. All right, let's see what Sirach DFS leaves us. He takes Warren. I'll just scoop up Trey McBride. I like that. I like Ted McMillan a lot, but let's not punt tight end this draft, and let's go Trey McBride. Drinking bleach, he ignores the running back room and takes Ted McMillan. I mean, can't argue with that. And there are some decent enough running back scrolls to where if you want to start wide receiver, I don't think that's untenable whatsoever. So I would never be upset to start a team with Amon-Ra, Ted McMillan in this format. We, of course, start with Scatabo and McBride. Interesting to see Warren going ahead of McBride, but there are people who are doing that, and not gonna really argue with them too heavily if that's the direction you want to go. I really think McBride could be the extension of the run game and the big beneficiary of the absence of Benson and Connor. All right, let's see what the other folks have done. Mr. Worth, he went Garrett Wilson, Ashton Genty. Makes sense. Tubins got to start Henry and Javonte. I like that. I'm unfortunately Javonte pilled. I wish I had him in BBMs, but I don't. So he goes here at pick 14. It's crazy how wrong the market was about stuff. I mean, where would Javonte go now in BBM? Probably not at pick 135 or whatever it was. Like, I wasn't the only one who got that wrong, but I wish I had been more open to taking him at market, because I played that through Miles Sanders, and that's was not the answer. All right, board coming back to us. Let's see what the room provides. A few different running backs are possibilities. Some good wide receivers are coming around. There is always the chance to do Marvin Harrison for the double stack, which I'm not super opposed to. I'm not super excited about. Patrick Barnes YouTube takes Monty there. Let's see what drinking bleach does in this position here. He takes his time. He winds the clock. He takes Ken Walker. Very interesting, Ken Walker. I'm torn between Kamara and Woody Marks. I think I'm going to buy the hype on Marks here. I don't necessarily want two running backs playing against each other in that game. Plus, I'm a little nervous that Kendre Miller is starting to eat a lot of the lunch of Alvin Kamara. So I'll take a Woody Marks share, and I don't mind the way that this team is coming together. I think we'll be able to get a receiver we like on the wraparound there. But I like the Ken Walker shout from Drinking Bleach. I think that's not a bad pick at all. Let's see what J-Dubs does here. Again, the Woody Marks pick is a little bit dicey. We've only seen it from 1 week. It's not like they're not going to play Nick Chubb whatsoever, but man, does Baltimore looks like they're in trouble when it comes to stopping the run. They have been absolutely gashed, and it wasn't just by the Lions. I mean, it's been every opponent they've faced has done well on the ground, and now without Lamar Jackson, again, if they're not able to move the ball, we could see some shorter fields for Houston. So I do like Woody Marks, and of course, if Houston does fall behind, Woody Marks excels as a pass catcher. So I think he's like almost game script proof, and so I'm pretty into Woody Marks this week. We are potentially going to get the chance for the Marvin Harrison double. I had not really planned on doing that, but I don't know if I'd say no to it. Cortland Sutton I do like because he opens up Bo Nix, which is a nice QB stack. Jacoby Myers also very, very clickable. They could be quite reliant on him against the Colts. Other scroll down options are fine, but I don't think we're going to go too far afield from this range. AJ Brown in the 4th round, you never just like pass that without thinking about it. But let's do MHJ. Let's do MHJ and just say that that the running game is ineffective and they really do need to move the ball through the air. So we'll take Marvin Harrison on this team. If someone takes Kyler from us, that's I'm not gonna lie, that's annoying, but I don't think it's insurmountable. We'll just we'll have to figure something else out. But all right, go Hazy Cards, a Scatabo DBQ team. God, we're thinking outside the box. You know what? Go Hazy Cards. I have no response. It was almost a Derrick Henry team, but like, come on. If you're gonna make the Dawg Bowl, you got to make it with some style points. And for us, it would be very on brand to get there with Cam Scatabo. But I love the workload. I love playing in that dome. And there's no way that Scatabo gets into any trouble in New Orleans before a big game like this. Like we know he has all the maturity and the wisdom to take it easy and not be tempted by a notoriously tame city where people never are out late. So I think it's a perfect environment for Scatabo. And so we get MHJ there, Drinking Bleach. He adds Daniel Jones to his team, so he takes an unstacked Jones. I wonder if the hope is to get a wrapping Pittman. That would be interesting. Or if he just likes Daniel Jones regardless. Pittman already went. So that's not the hope. Where did Pittman go? Pittman went at 36. Okay. So we'll see if the plan is to take anyone with Daniel Jones or just take him unstacked. I think you can very reasonably take Daniel Jones unstacked without any pushback from yours truly there. Greg says, Scatabo does look like he could put a few beers down. Any crazy ASU stories about him, Chad? None I wish to share at this moment. But I did hear one bit of Scatabo stuff, but I do not wish to slander my guy. But no, by all accounts he is a good kid, but not immune to hanging out with the boys. James Young, Scatabo already has his playbook and chastity belt packed up. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing too. All right. We are about to come up. I hate Patrick Barnes' YouTube. I swear to God, this guy has done this twice to me where he's taken Kyler unstacked. God, you are... Why? Like, why would you do that? This guy needs to find a new hobby. I swear to God. All right, we'll take Rashid Shaheed to play opposite Cam Scott. That is so freaking annoying. There's just like no reason to do that. Like, take another quarterback. I swear he's done the exact same thing twice to me. All right. Is he autoing? I don't know. I don't know what Patrick Barnes' YouTube does. Nobody knows. He just gets into stream drafts and annoys everybody. You hate to see it. If I see him at the Dawg Bowl, you know what? I'm just gonna be nice to him because I'm a coward. But he does keep sniping me. It's really irritating. All right. But you know what? You do not have a God-given right to your stack. You do not have a God-given right to your stack. But I really wanted that one, and you usually can get it if you don't end up in a room with Patrick Barnes' YouTube. So now I'm here with Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, and not the quarterback. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. All right. So now what do we want to do? Who knows? Who cares? It's all over. It's all over. All right. That's okay. We got Rashid Shaheed opposite Cam Scatabo. I like Rashid Shaheed in these. I don't know if I really want to take Spencer Rattler. I think that's, I just don't think he scores enough points. Man. I mean, do we take Jackson Dart? I don't love Dart and Scatabo because he doesn't throw to Scatabo enough, and he kind of like eats his production. I guess I'm just going to take unstacked Bryce Young and just hope that he gets home against the Dolphins, and that he picks up a little bit of rushing upside. But that was regrettable. That was regrettable because if this team has Kyler, I'm like very happy about it in my portfolio. And instead, Patrick Barnes' YouTube takes Kyler Murray. And now he's going to take Dallas Goedert because he has no imagination. Yeah, go AZ Cards. I agree. Murray would have been a great fit for this team. I 100% agree. But it's not on my team. I have Bryce Young on my team. And Bryce Young is going to stink again. Dear God, people. He takes Dalton Schultz. That's a great pick if you want 3 fantasy points. All right. So there we go. We got Bryce Young. Let's see what our actual friends do. Nice people, like drinking bleach here. He takes Amon-Ra, Ted McMillan, Ken Walker, Daniel Jones, Mason Taylor, and just kidding Dobbins. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. J Dubs, he goes Garrett Wilson, Ashton Genty, Rashad White, Herbert T. Higgins, and Rondé Gadsden. Yeah, I like this pick. I mean, I took Higgins in one earlier. I think he's undrafted in a lot of these. You know, it could end up looking bad if Browning just can't move the ball, but I think it's worth a shot. You know, in some circumstances. So I like that. Let's see what Tubins is doing. He's got Henry, Javonte, Laporta, Debo, Smith, and Goff. So, you know, he can get his stacks, but I can't. That's fine. All right. Yeah. Again, we'll just imagine Kyler's on this team, and just, you know, when we are below the cash line, we'll know why. All right. Hartman, I am not winning. I am not winning because my enemies are numerous. My enemies are numerous, and they're sniping me in these rooms. But you know what? We soldier on, Hartman. We soldier on. And we're going to hop into a regular BR there. So that was a Dawg Bowl team. Hopefully, unstacked Bryce Young is what you need, because it so frequently is exactly what you need. It's very rarely what you need. All right, here we go. 120, 30, BR4. All right. Jordan, GMGU, 2 more DBQ. I'm just going to hop into a regular one here. Mythology. Patrick is the ultimate grinding in his own world. He was building the Saturday Night Showdown lineup in the corner of the Dawg Bowl when he had Josh Allen charging up the draft. Patrick is... He was... Mythology, I mean... I don't know if you saw, but he completely tanked my very nicely constructed team. You can't get mad, and I'm mostly joking when I'm tilting on here, because you know you cannot assume you're going to get any stack, but it just feels like there's a lot of QBs go unstacked, and there was just no need for him to take Kyler from me there. I feel like there were a lot of players that would have actually helped his team more. And when you get taken on a double stack that's kind of like QB reliant, it's like it is extra brutal there. Mike Rob Hartman did miss the intriguing. Yeah. We were definitely talking about Sauce for probably longer than we needed to. Yeah, that Skeletor, that Dawg Bowl qualifier went off. It probably went bad when I took when I took Scatabo at pick 7 there. All right, let's take Jonathan Taylor here. All right, so we got Mike Robin here at the 6. We got Mr. Worth at the 5. So we got some nice friends and family here. Mythology, I had to inform him to enjoy the sweat as he hit for 100K in second. Oh my God, Mythology. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And I know he did make the Dawg Bowl. And so I know he knows what he's doing. I just don't know if he's autoing half the time. So it's always curious to know if these are things doing like, it's one thing if someone's intentionally doing it. It just feels so much worse when someone's auto drafting. Hartman, yeah, you did miss the premium content. I don't know if I didn't timestamp when we talked about sauces. I should have, because I think that's probably what people were tuning in for. But yeah, that is Naked Kyler can get home on a low scoring slate, play like a champion, chat. Yeah, I know he can, Mythology. That's the problem. The problem is it wasn't even bad, but it just came at my expense, you know? It came at my expense. But surely Bryce Young can outscore Kyler Murray if Trey McBride and MHJ are getting home. That's he bleeds the clock every time. So we've got the Aaron Rodgers. We got the Aaron Rodgers of Dawg Bowls here. That's it's a tough scene. It's a tough scene. Mike Rob Henry at 3 and the 1. He took my QB and I took that personally. Yeah. I know better than to take these things personally, but I also should know better, because he's literally did that to me with Kyler. So I think he just likes unstacked Kyler. Because I think like 2 weeks ago, the same exact thing happened. All right, let's just go chalk and take Pickens and McBride here. But yeah, no excuses. Play like a champion. As a viewer, thank you, Patrick, for the entertaining content. Well, again, check out the Patrick Barnes YouTube channel for I don't know, actually, I'm not even aware of that channel. I don't know if that's just his YouTube or his screen name, or if he streams or does any content. I feel like I should know that, but if he does, the algo has not blessed me with that. So I hope he just has like one of those mix, like those videos of like sick dunks, like of him just brutal snipes, just Patrick Barnes's greatest stream snipes, and just like as the streamers just going nuts as he snipes them. I think I think I would. I would like that video. All right, so we got McBride and Pickens. Let's see, J-Dubs, he's got Achane, Garrett Wilson, and Genty. Money going Hampton, JSN, Warren, and Fields. So we see the first QB off the board over there. The Gale asking, have you noticed any significant risers since drafts opened up? Woody Marks, the big one. I think Rachaad White is pretty big. At least in the 12 persons. In the 6 persons, the tight ends have all come up. I think that's true in the 12s. Like, they definitely started a little lower, but you see a little bit of an arms race to get one of the top 4, the Fergie, Bowers, Warren, McBride line. I think you definitely can see a little bit of a scramble to get those guys. I might be missing someone, but those are the main ones I've noticed. I'll take Breece Hall here. I don't need to game stack, but I do think Breece Hall is going to see a ton of work this game. And we'll do JMO. We'll do Breece Hall, JMO. That seems like fun. All right, so we got Breece Hall and Jameson Williams on here. So we'll have a few options at quarterback. Dak's already gone, but I wouldn't mind to take an unstacked Hurts. We could take Goff with JMO, or we could just do an unstacked somebody else, or Kyler. And that will be how this team winds out. J-Dubs, he's got Achane, Garrett Wilson, Genty, and Tet McMillan there. So we'll see how he lands the proverbial plane over there. He, of course, did not get Fields with Garrett Wilson because Mr. Rob took Fields at pick 19. Justin Herbert goes. Herbert gets paired up with QJ. J-Dubs takes Fergie, so he does build a little bit of a mini game stack there. Likewise, so does Money with Fields and Williams. So we all have a little bit of a all three of us. We got Fields and Javonte, we got Fergie and Garrett, and we got Pickens and Hall. And so you're going to see a lot of different combinations of people trying to get access to this high total game here. Go AZ Cards. What QB stack would you be comfy with? Obviously, Fields, Hall. Oh, QB RB stack. I don't mind taking Herbert with Hampton. I think that's live to get home, especially with the Herbert having 3 pass catchers. Like, if none of them separate and they get up by a lot, or you just get a passing touchdown or 2, I think those could both get home. And I don't think a lot of people are playing it that way. I'm trying to think of another main one. I don't mind Goff Gibbs. I feel like Goff Gibbs are live. I think that's Herbert Hampton with the Gale. I agree with you there. Hartman asking, BR streets are the DBQs are like the Fury Road. It's literally like Mad Max out there. Chris throwing out Achane and Tua, I don't disagree. I'm just gonna take Goff here. We're not gonna overthink it. This is a touch doopy, but I don't care that much. I think this is fine. We'll just take Goff. Could have taken Kyler maybe, but I do feel like it could be a JMO like eruption spot. I guess that's fine. I guess Achane and Tua is fine. Danny Jimes, JT, possibly sneaky. Sure. Again, a lot of these QB RB things I'm more apt to do in the smaller field stuff. I don't think it's like don't do it in the main BR, but it feels like slightly thinner. Mike Robb, Stroud, Marks would be 0 owned together. I think Tet game could be 40 to 35 since both these are not the great. Yeah, Stroud has just been like so low ceiling, but that's possible. It's possible, Mike, and no one is doing that, like you said. So maybe that is something to sprinkle in because, like, they are. I mean, Marks didn't get drafted in this one, right? Yeah, he didn't even get drafted here, and I've never seen Stroud get drafted in anything. Where is he? Yeah, okay, 35.8. Like, Stroud is very rarely. I guess he's getting taken more than Bryce Young, which is interesting to me. Maybe I'm the last one on Bryce Young Island here, but if Bryce Young can't get it done against the Dolphins, there's going to be a drumbeat to put in Dalton because that Dolphins defense is ass. Yep, go easy cards. Gibbs, Goff, definitely. I like that one. I like that one quite a bit. Yeah, the only problem with Dart and Scatabo is really that Dart doesn't check down. Like they'll do some design plays to Scatabo, but Dart is going to scramble before he's going to check down. That is the one thing that makes Scatabo slightly worse with Dart than with Russ, because Russ will check down. I think we're going to see Scatabo's like receiving numbers be not the like ceiling they could be. Obviously, it's a double-edged sword. If Dart is more competent moving the offense, then he's going to get, Scatabo's going to have better game scripts and opportunities and whatnot, but he's not going to be a check down merchant. Like that out is kind of off the board, I think, with Dart. Unless Dart really changes his game, which it doesn't look like he is. I think he's going to be, taking off and running versus looking for his running back in a lot of those situations. I've got a Stroud, Nico Schultz double. Oh man, when the 6th man, what could go wrong? Well, good luck. That will not be highly owned. Oh, if healthy, I would do Bucky, Baker, if not White/Baker. Yeah, I mean, White has gotten there as a PPR scam in the past, so I don't hate that. Again, it's like I love these in the deposit kingdom stuff. I think these are all things where you're not trying to hit the like stone cold nuts. To me, that these seem like slightly better ideas, but I mean, I would feel free to like do a few in the main BR as well if you got that just like giga ceiling outcome. Stroud double for 50K would be something. Marks Collins, yeah. I mean, it would be a story. All right, let's see if we can get redemption. Let's try one more DBQ, and then waiting for 6. All right, I'll sit in this for a second. I want to make sure Patrick Barnes YouTube has time to get in here. So I'll hang out here for a bit. If it doesn't fill, I'm just going to hop into a main VR, but I'm going to blow my nose first. All right, while that's waiting, let's hop into another one of those primetime hurry ups. Those were kind of fun. All right, let's see. I gotta scroll to Narnia. All right, primetime hurry up. Let's see, what's this at? Waiting for 1. All right, if anyone wants to get in this while we're waiting for the DBQ to fill, we are off and running. Yeah, yeah. Mike is right. FBI about to hit Jordan's door for future tech if he has the Stroud double hits. Yes, that will confirm you as a time traveler if you were in on that. All right, so we got CMC here at the 1. That's who we are going to take. If I go... All right, we're waiting for 4 in the DBQ. If anyone wants to hop in on that, fill that would be cool. We'll see if the timing lines up, or if I have to multi for a second, which I hope I don't in the Dawg Bowl, because those are kind of need our focus. Kind of need our focus in those, but. All right, let's see. 1:34 prime time. Hurry. I have not been great with the timestamps, but I'm trying to keep up with them. All right, so we're going to take CMC. We're still waiting for 4 on the other. All right, so I think we're probably going to this is probably going to line up pretty well. All right, so we got CMC there, Jordan. It's gross for sure. Yeah, it's a choice. It is definitely a choice there. But also it is we're now an hour 35 in. If you can, please like and subscribe. That would be fantastic. It keeps us in the Dawg Bowl streets despite our enemies. Our enemies are numerous. However, they speak kindly and carry a knife. So today we're doing our wide receiver coded tweets. Normally we're kind of a we're a little more of a tight end kind of just derp program here, but today we're channeling our inner wide receiver, and we're gonna I should cryptically subtweet Patrick Barnes YouTube. I think that might be the move. Hartman, just subscribe. You've convinced me. Let's go Hartman. All right, guys, we got CMC here. Would love Davante Adams. Be nice to get like a competent wide receiver. It's a little hard to pass on Kyron. As I pass on Kyron. You know what? Let's do Devontae Diggs. I do think that they're going to try to get Diggs a Make-A-Wish touchdown against his old team. I don't love playing Narrative Street, but I'm going to play Narrative Street here on this one. And so we'll go Devontae Adams and Steph Diggs here. So, maybe a little bit bad to skip on Kyron. We're giving the Puka drafter kind of a gift there, being able to get both of them. I don't think that's going to be very easily done, but Bader Boy already had 2 running backs. If he passes that, being able to go Allen Kyron is kind of nice. Allen Kyron Jefferson. So, Greg loving the Candles wide receiver arc. Yeah, that's where we're at. That's what happened. That's what Patrick Barnes YouTube has driven us to. All right, let's see. Oh, the Dawg Bowl starts in 30 seconds, and we have pick 6. All right, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that's fine. If we get one of those, we're good. I don't mind getting Saquon there. I think we're good with that if that's how the room shakes out. All right, so we got CMC, Davante Adams, Steph Diggs. I'm trying to decide what we want to do with the quarterback. I think we just take. I feel like I just want to do DeMarcus Robinson and Mac Jones, and then just do DeMarcus Robinson, Mac Jones, and CMC. Because if there's a chance somebody takes Mac Jones, by somebody I mean the one guy that needs a quarterback. I don't think I can count on him to not do it. So we'll just grab this here. There's enough tight ends to where I'm fine if I have to take Kincaid or Fannin or even Hawk if we have to go that way. All right. Yeah, DBQ starting. Chad, what wide receiver do you identify with most personality-wise? Hartman suggesting it's A.J. Brown all day, cerebral cross-outs. Yeah. Gosh, I have to see. Which wide receiver would I be? All right, we're up in the DBQ. I mean, I'll just take Omari and Hampton. Let's not overthink it. I think that's fine. All right, we'll get back to the DBQ momentarily. Let me. What are we at here? Let me update my thing. 134, 45 DBQ3. All right, you got that. I'm trying to keep up with everything. I think I'd prefer Fannin to the other options. I'll be a little disappointed if nobody can take another receiver. All right, we're going to get Fannin on this team. That's fine. We can push the plane and go back to the Dawg Bowl qualifier. So that team will be Mac Jones, CMC, Davante Adams, Steph Diggs, DeMarcus Robinson, and the Fannin bet. So that will do it. That will do it there. I like that team. I think that team's kind of fun. Primetime hurry up. Here we go. All right. Let's see who's going on in this room. Let's see what's going on in this room. We got Crutches here at the 3. We got our mortal nemesis, Patrick Barnes YouTube, at the 9. We got Mathology at the 11. We got Go Easy Cards at the 12. Dear God. Why do I do these? Go Easy Cards noting Math and Patrick on my side minus EV. Yep. Not great. Not great Go Easy cards. Hartman says, agreed, you can sense Chad, Steve-O, Aura. Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out today. Greg, reading the masterclass on the sideline. Yeah. That is the inner excellence of the underdog community. Yeah. Mike says, Jalen Waddle based off the sickness always in the blue medical tent muting to blow the nose. I hate that you're not wrong. Maybe it's Debo. It could be Debo because A, definite Diva vibes. B, got pneumonia. C, got a little chunky because McDonald's Monopoly is coming back. So we are going to enter our true Debo Samuel arc. October 6th, McDonald's Monopoly returns. And I am nothing if not a huge fan of that, and we'll be partaking in the festivities. I would love Tet McMillan. If Inglex wants to give me Tet McMillan, I would be happy. I really don't love Jamar Chase. He doesn't take Jamar Chase. I'm not going to take him either. I'm going to take my guy Tet McMillan because, anytime we can just continue to take Bryce Young teams, we simply must do it. Patrick Barnes YouTube has Trey McBride. I swear to God, if he takes MHJ, I'm just going to take Naked Kyler just to screw him. I don't want to swear to God because I actually don't think I want to do that. Sorry, God. But yeah, hashtag ad. Yeah, this channel is not sponsored by McDonald's, but it could be. McDonald's, if you're out there, the Chad Candles YouTube channel is looking for a sponsor. Now go Fat Keenan, not Fat Debo. Yeah. Keenan I thought was more about the deep dish pizza. Debo, or Keenan, they said he was like a Condé Nast food critic in Chicago. That was the rumor. Debo just got pneumonia, and that was unfortunate. I mean, that is kind of scary. Yeah, I hope this isn't your Debo pneumonia season. Yeah, me too. I would not wish that upon anyone. All right, so we got Hampton and Tetaroya McMillan. So we got a few ways we could potentially take this team. Crutches takes Mr. Debo Samuel himself. Speaking of Debo, let's see what. I'm tempted to take Ladd. And double stack the Chargers against Washington. Let's do that so that Patrick Barnes can snipe me on Herbert, and that would be funny. So let's do a Chargers double, and again, hopefully that happens. The Keenan stuff was actually a joke. Someone faked the article. We ran with it. Yeah, I know. That was the best part. Is there was no truth to it. At least the Debo stuff. They took that picture of him in that green jacket, and he looked like a nose tackle. But yeah, I think my true inner diva is Debo. That should be one of those old BuzzFeed quizzes, like, oh, which country should you live in? Like, which Friends character are you? It's like, which diva wide receiver are you? I think we should bring those back. I think the 2020s are ready for that to return to pop culture relevance. All right, so let's check in on what serious people are actually doing. Crutches, he's got Achane, Warren, and Debo. Patrick Barnes YouTube goes Breece Hall, Trey McBride, and Alvin Kamara. Mythology goes wide receiver with Scatabo, Genti. I mean, a wise man taking Scatabo there. I mean, Scatabo at 11. What a gift. What a gift that is. Go AZ Cards. He's got Nico and Javante. I like that start there. We see Woody Marks go at 32. He was definitely in consideration for me there, but I did want to try to build that Chargers bet before I get sniped by Patrick Barnes YouTube. All right, let's see. Mike Rob, it's super crazy how we see these top athletes are fat, like they say about Luka and Harden, but these dudes dropping 30 and 40 minutes of play. Yeah, I know. It really is funny how we're like, oh, they're out of shape, and it's like your average person could not run a 5-second 40-yard dash. Like, that is so much faster than like we realize, and that's like a snail in the NFL. Hartman, you could have BuzzFeed for football, truly innovational. Yeah. Now, I don't know if Go's AZ Cards just tried to snipe Mathology and take AJ Brown, but we've got a little snip snap situation going here with Go AZ Cards going Sutton and Brown. Javante, I like him quite a bit. So I think, or Jimmy JMO, I like quite a bit. So it seems like it works out for Mathology. Sutton and AJ Brown, of course, are a game stack, so one could not begrudge Go AZ Cards too much for the selection. Rashad White goes. He was on my short list. Patrick Barnes shockingly does not snipe me at quarterback. Herbert Allen at the 3-4 turn. Yeah, we're breaking ground here unless oh my God, he's still there. Nobody took Herbert from me. It's a miracle. All right, we're gonna take Justin Herbert. So we got Herbert, Hampton, Tet McMillan, Ladd McConkey. All right, so we actually got a stack. It's a miracle in the Dawg Bowl. Past ADP. I did not think that was going to happen. They are fat compared to other. Yeah, no one actually. Well, I'd say that Debo did look kind of. Debo still does look pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. Game stack, no sniping. You can take that up with Mathology. Crutches, he takes MHJ. I'm sure he will be able to take Kyler without interruption. Way past where I was trying to get him. So Crutches, he's got Achane, Warren, Debo, and MHJ. Let's see how we want to land the proverbial aircraft when it comes to us. Olave's there, Godwin's there. So it's a little bit thin. It's a little bit thin as the board turns towards us. I don't really like Zach Ertz very much this week. I'm struggling, guys. I would not mind Tony Pollard if he came to me. If Tony Pollard is gone, then we just have to decide if it's more important to snag our wide receiver du jour or take a tight end. Zach Ertz goes. I think I'm just going to take Tony Pollard. Excuse me. In a dome against Arizona, I mean, better days could be ahead for Tennessee. I don't think Spears is going to be back. I think his practice window opened, but I'm not quite concerned about Spears taking over just yet. So we'll take Tony Pollard on this particular iteration. Crutches does get Kyler with his MHJ stack. All right, let's see what Mathology and Go AZ Cards does. What's the case for Ladd over Keenan? Sticking to priors too closely? No, I mean, I hate to say the do theory, but I feel like we are. Like there's gotta be something. Like we gotta get I do feel like we're eventually gonna get that Ladd game. I can't give you like a good hand in the dirt reason, but I cannot imagine them, wanting Ladd to be uninvolved in the offense, especially against Washington, where I think in the passing game they should be able to do what they want. So I'm hoping that better days are here for one Ladd McConkey. Mathology says all good, Charles. Let the best build win. The thing about Mathology is we know he actually means that. Like Mathology, just one of the good ones, and is just not bothered by that sort of thing. Mike says, what would help get over the sniping? Some Taco Bells and fire sauce. See, Mike, you've already got it. Our segment for when we get the sponsor could be, the snipe of the week or snipe of the day. And it's like nothing burns more than Taco Bell fire sauce, except getting sniped on Kyler Murray. And and that could be like the bit. Like I think there's something there. Hartman says, I'm a Ladd Bowl. I just like spreading the pain out. All right. Well, if you want to give me the bowl case, I'm willing to listen because it's it feels a little dicey right now. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I mean, I got to think that sponsors are going to be reaching out hand over fist here. I dedicate this Houston stack team to Jordan. Oh yes, go AZ Cards. He's got Stroud, Schultz, and Nico. I mean, Patrick Barnes YouTube with the Spencer Rattler, Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara team. All right, Patrick Barnes YouTube. I wasn't familiar with your game when you're not sniping people. Very interesting build there. I can't say I like hate it. It's kind of unique. A little Rattler double there. We're probably going to get our pick of tight end. Now, who do we want to do? I know I took Andrews in that other one. I like Tremble. We do have Tet. So a little bit of a team bet we could be making against the Finns. Theo Johnson very involved. Let's do the Trumbull. Let's just say that Miami is really circling the drain, and we'll bet on that. We'll bet on that. So we got Herbert, Hampton, Pollard, and then Tet McMillan, Lad McConkey, and Thomas Tremble on the team. Let's review our friends and family teams. We got Mythology with Scatterboat, Genty, Jalen Hurts, Jamison Williams, Dallas Goedert, and Devonta Smith. That makes me happy because I've been taking some late Devonta Smith, so I like to see that as a scroll for Mythology. Go Easy Cards with Nico, Javonte, Cortland Sutton, AJ Brown, and then the Stroud Schultz to go with Nico there. Again, not going to see a ton of Stroud teams, so definitely like getting different. Crutches plays the Q-Tag game with Bucky Irving. I think it's pretty clear Bucky's going to miss this game, so again, Crutch is leaving himself some optionality for a late swap, is what I assume he's doing there. You see a lot of sharp people taking advantage of that. My assumption is that's what's happening there. All right, let's see. Chris wants a percentage. All right, we'll see. I'll have to get my agent in touch with you there. Same thing. Priors tell me Lad can ball. All right. My guy, Ravens running out an ACC level defense. So Jordan appreciates Go AC Cards' team. Mike Rob says, do all the sponsor money going to have extra toilet paper with that food combo? Yeah, I'm with you, Mike Rob. This draft sponsored by Charmin. I think there's so many ways we can go with this. You said let's do, and I thought the time warp again. Yeah. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's do one last BR, and then we'll probably call it here. But I like that draft. Thanks Mythology. Thanks Go AZ Cards for drafting with me there. And we're waiting for 5, so this is perfect draft to end on. If anyone wants to get in, hop on in. If you want if anyone wants to like and subscribe, this is a great time to do it while we're waiting for this draft. Would highly appreciate that. Let's see, we are at 153. BR5. All right, sweet. So I didn't do great with the timestamps. I missed a few, but we got the main things. I didn't timestamp the crash out, but maybe I'll go back and do that there. No, thank you, Go AZ Cards. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having to sit next to Mythology, and take one for the team there, because that's always an unenviable spot in the draft. All right, we got the 101. We got Mr. Worth at the 5. We got Go AZ Cards at the 6. So if any of you are secretly Colt fan, Grelly, or Peary, let me know. But if not, good luck, everyone. We've got the one hole again. Yeah, excited for this Thursday night affair. Just getting another week under the belt. First week, but bye week. So again, I think you're going to see some big shifts in advance rates. Start feeling the effects of teams that were neighbors teams are going to start slipping. Tyreek teams will probably start slipping as well. Really unfortunate to see, but we're going to see a lot of big changes in the teams, in players with high advance rates. Hopefully some of us with more middling advance rates start to creep up, myself included. I've got 20 advancing right now, but I think we're on the cusp of increasing that. I think good things are ahead. I have 18 Darius Slayton teams. Somehow 0 of them are advancing. You'd think that, like, he's drafted late enough to where he doesn't, like, kill your team. It's like a last round click. So I'm a little surprised that stone 0 are on teams that are advancing, but they are. So, if Slayton is starts to pick up, maybe one of those 18 teams can make it in. But just kind of a weird quirk of how the drafting went out. Mike Robb, I had 20% Tyreek. Trust me, it wasn't helping anyone with advantage. That's fair. That's fair, Mike. But he was kind of in the zone where there's like a lot of busts. Like, he was going next to Burrow, I think. Wasn't he? No, he was a 2-3 turn guy. Well, now I'm getting all muddled up. I forget who he was going next to. But yeah, I mean, either way, he wasn't lighting the world on fire, but he's certainly a bad run out. Certainly a bad run out there. Go Easy Cards with Hampton and Collins. J-Dubs with Amon-Ra and Saquon. Nobody has taken Derrick Henry yet. If he comes to me, I'll make you good. Dear listeners, a promise, I will take, our viewers, a promise, I'll take Derrick Henry. If not, all bets are off, and we'll probably take Cam Scatterbo. All right, we take Derrick Henry here. You know what? Let's do Derrick Henry and Jamar Chase. Let's just take some value here. Maybe we'll try to build this through the Lions side. I don't know, but I will take one. I'll take the occasional Jamar Chase share on the off chance that they do find something and he gets peppered with targets, because he could. Yeah, Chase Brown. You're right, Methodology. That was another one I was thinking of, but then when I was confused about Burrow, I lost my nerve. But yeah, Chase Brown has not helped many teams, but he at least is healthy. He at least is healthy there. Chris says Jahmyr Gibbs teams advancing 17% and only one of my 22. I don't know. Chris, I don't know what happened there. Hopefully that gets better. I mean, it seems like it has to. Go Easy Card. Since RBs are nice later, my goal in BR is to get a Sun God / JSN start. Have to land RB thirsty room. Yeah. And unfortunately in this room, JSN went at the 2. So this was not the room to pull it. When you have the 7 or the 6, that is possible to get that. Marvin Harrison. I was thinking of MHJ, but he did score last game. So, yeah, Mike, Chris broke. I did. My brain couldn't process how that happened. I'm still not 100% sure, because it does seem like you should be getting a lot of my Lions are paired with McCarthy. Not great. Yeah, I have a lot of McCarthy. I have a ton of Cam Ward. Like I think he's my highest drafted quarterback, and so that could explain why I'm only advancing 20 teams. I really thought we were just getting Bo Nix in Baby Blue, and instead we didn't get that at all. Like, he's not rushing. I thought he was supposed to rush. What happened to the rushing? I don't know. It's a tough scene, folks. It's a tough scene. I'll queue up JMO. Hopefully we get JMO. That's kind of how we want to play this. So let's do JMO and Hurts. We'll just do unstacked Hurts with JMO. We'll get a little mini game thing going here. But again, that's not a priority for me in the main BR. You know, I think we have a tendency to bring back too much, and but I do like Jalen Hurts. I think I like him unstacked just as much as I like him with like a late Devontae or an AJ Brown. Mike Robb says, I'm in that Cam Ward boat with you. And the majority of my 3 QB teams, and still with these injuries, he isn't helping. Yeah, he hasn't even come close to hitting lineups. So I want to say I hope things get better, but I don't. I mean, I do hope things get better, but I don't know why they would. It's just like, it's just not great. It's just not great. I probably will take Dallas Goedert if he comes to me, just to get that. I mean, they were giving him those like weird, not quite rushing touchdowns, but like they function just about as a rushing touchdown when the ball has a half an air yard. Like, he could just like reached out and handed Dallas Goedert the ball. So we were seeing some of those last week. I don't know if that's going to be sticky from week to week, but you know, Goddard certainly is a good enough player to where I'm happy to take him. So go AZ Cards. His team ends up being Hampton, Nico, Scatabo, Fergie, Dak, and Tolbert. So he goes the kind of a seldom seen Dak double with Tolbert and Ferguson. Don't mind that. J-Dubs, he goes Amon, Raw, Saquon, Warren, Genty, QJ, and Goff. Yeah, I like this team. I like all the players that you took there. And we will take Dallas Goedert. What is this Q? Doesn't practice due to knee issue. Well, if we have to, at this point, but we just have to set ranks. So if Dallas Goedert doesn't play, I don't really care. We'll just end up playing the Q tag game. All right. Sweet. Perhaps drafting a good quarterback on good teams is smart. Methodology. I wish you had said that before I took unstacked Bryce Young in my Dawg Bowl qualifier when the crash out happened. Go AZ Cards, might as well since my team is dead with Scatterbo. Your team has never been more alive. Joel Ward reminded me of Jordan Love. He has athleticism to run, but no feel for it. But I thought he ran in college. Like he did run in college, didn't he? I don't know. All right, I said that was my last one, but we're going to do one more, and then we really will get out of here. So we're going to do one final ride waiting. Oh, it fired. All right. This is going to be it. And I truly will, I will log after this. But I do appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out. We got the 6-hole. Maybe we'll try to get a little different with this last draft. But truly appreciate y'all coming in, hanging out with me. It is so much more fun to do these with people, to bounce ideas off, to have somebody to tilt with when your double stack gets sniped. But methodology says something that is so true. Draft a good QB on good teams. I mean, my God, like we convince ourselves to take the Cam Wards of the world, and then find reasons to not take the Jalen Hurts and it's too expensive to pay up for Josh Allen. And then it's like, oh my God, Josh Allen put up 45 fantasy points. Whoever could have predicted this? And if that happens in the playoffs, you go to zero if you don't have them. So I am a little bit more elite QB pilled than I was at the start of BBM drafts, and I probably next year need to take a little bit more on the elite QB front. And I'm also working on like a semi-greasy theory that the rushing quarterbacks are no more likely to get injured than the statues. And if anything, they might be like more likely to stay healthy because they can escape pressure. We've seen a lot of statue quarterbacks just get like mushed, getting tackled, and Josh Allen just like scampers away. Now Lamar Jackson just hurt his hamstring, so that's like counterpoint. But soft tissue injuries are kind of weird and random. It wasn't like he got hurt getting tackled. So I don't know. I think sometimes we think that these elite QBs are kind of who run are kind of fragile. And maybe the truth is like they don't actually get hurt running that much because they're smart enough to slide and run out of bounds, but they can evade getting tackled by a 300-pound nose tackle coming up the middle. Go AZ Cards. When Cooks was on Dallas, I placed my highest ever in a BR with the Dak Cook stacks. Let's hope Tolbert is my Cooks. Hey, good luck. Go AZ Cards. That would be fantastic. If it happened on stream, that would be pretty sweet too. Just when you get the accolades, just make sure to tag Taco Bell as part of our sponsorship arrangement that we're working on. All right, let's forego Saquon. Let's do JSN McBride. We're just kind of gonna skip a lot of this range by doing this, and maybe try to get a little different elsewhere. Take some later, excuse me, a couple later round running backs. Like Rob, be great if you could get an app extension when you click Bryce Young and Cam Ward, a picture methodology pops up and asks you to eat a Snickers because we're not thinking straight. I feel like the Sidekick team could make that happen. They are absolutely brilliant people there. So I have no doubt they could program a thing that if you went to click Bryce Young methodology with a Snickers appeared like a genie. It was like, sure, Sure about that, buddy? All right, so we got JSN McBride, and yeah, see what kind of running backs we get here. All right. Again, appreciate you all hanging out. Hartman asks, what stack would you want to represent you in the sidekick? I mean, obviously, if you click Scatabo, a big thumbs up. I would be good with that. My BR win happened when I stacked a quarterback and a running back that doesn't pass catches. So maybe if you do something just so outlandish, no one else is doing it. I think it was the divisional round BR, and I had a Jaden Daniels with Brian Robinson Jr., and everyone was stacking him with Austin Eckler, and that was like what separated me from the other teams on a shorter slate. Was doing that no one was doing. So maybe the unconventional QB running back stack. Yeah, JJM and Mason, perfect. Yeah, because people don't think Mason catches passes. So something like that. I'm with you there, Hartman. But yeah, just finding ways to get different that don't completely tank your projection and expected value. All right, let's see. Board is sweeping around to us. I don't necessarily need to, do a game stack with any of these guys. I was trying to avoid taking Scatabo. I did kind of want to just live in this second tier of running back that I think people aren't getting to enough. There's just not enough people taking Woody Marks. I think that's wrong. Even Kamara, Ken Walker, would it shock you if they were on the winning BR team? I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be like, oh my God, who could have seen Ken Walker breaking the slate coming? That's absolutely a thing that happens. So, Egbuka's coming around. I'm okay foregoing that. Let's do Breece Hall, Fergie. Not even that this is a game stack. I just think Fergie's kind of the end of the tight end tier. If somebody takes Woody Marks from me, that's just kind of annoying. Oh my God, I already had Trey McBride. Well, this is a great team to end on because I just went to Stone Zero. I have no one to blame. That was my own fault. I can't even blame Patrick Barnes YouTube. Are you taking any Rashad White or waiting for more news on Bucky? I think I've heard enough news that he's in on crutches and a walking boot, and unless he does that Triple H gif from WWF and just stands up out of his wheelchair as part of a bit, I can't imagine him playing. I can't. It's unique for sure. What else do you need? Yeah, this team is unique, uniquely awful. Uniquely bad team I have constructed here, Hartman. Don't do this. Don't do this. You do not need the masterclass to tell you that this is terrible. The masterclass is super informative. You should absolutely get it. But this is a free lesson from Chad Candles. Do not take double wide tight end. It is extremely rarely what you need. And if it is what you need, you are very unlikely to pick the two tight ends you need to do it. I would not do this. Oh, is Kevin Nash in the wheelchair? Gosh darn it, Mike, you're right. God, why did I think it was Triple H? That was my fault. Mike, thank you. Thank you for correcting me there. I flew too close to the sun. Too close to the sun, and Mike Robb was there melting my waxen wings, and down I go, tumbling down. Did somebody take Woody Marks? Or can I just not? I just can't take Woody Marks anymore. Dear God. All right. Not great. I wouldn't mind Ted McMillan. I mean, the thing you do in these circumstances is you take an elite rushing quarterback and you take them unstacked. So we won't stack him with Daniels. We just need Jaden Daniels to go absolutely nuclear, and we'll take Tet McMillan on this team. So this team is Jaden Daniels, Brees Hall, JSN, Tet McMillan, and then Trey McBride and Jake Ferg. So that'll do it for this team. That'll be the last draft. Let me catch up with chat, and then we're going to get on out of here. Hey, Kelly Lapidus, thanks so much for coming in and hanging out, asking if I'm keeping up with the Cardi B Nicki M feud on X. Kelly, I cannot say that I am. I do not know what. I did not even know they were feuding currently, so I do apologize. Craig, Mike Rob, I heard it too, but I'm just happy to hear a wrestling reference. Gosh darn it! Everybody knew. I'm so out of the loop between that and Cardi B. I'm losing all audiences. Whether you're into pop culture, whether you're into wrestling, I'm failing you on all fronts. And then I take 2 tight ends. So my God, it is time. Who needs a masterclass when I have Chad Kendall? Yeah, no. You definitely should. Should be learning from the masterclass. But no, I do appreciate hanging out. I do love doing these drafts with y'all. And hopefully, if you don't learn anything from me, we do draft with a lot of really sharp people, so pay attention to what they're doing. Mike Bra, hey, great. Hey, Mike, thanks so much for the kind words. Appreciate that. Chris, see you tomorrow, Candles. Hey, thanks so much. Gail, the best part of waking up is drafting Cooper Kupp. Good scream. All right. Yes, Folgers, another potential sponsor. Hey, take care, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow.